Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. And I've officially switched from being bullish to being bearish. Now, this comes after a seemingly failed ascending triangle that was not able to break out of this overall bear flag. Now, for us to stay in this bear flag makes me even more bearish, because what this means is that we did not have enough buying pressure from the bulls to break out of this overall bearish formation and continuation pattern. So today I'm going to be breaking down exactly why I'm bearish and where I believe Bitcoin is going to go from here. So if you guys are interested, go and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. With that being said, let's go ahead and break this down. So what I mean by Bitcoin really failing to break out of this ascending triangle, although it did technically break out towards the upside, I still consider this a failed attempt. Now, yes, it was great. It did see some nice price action. You saw it bounce off support around $5,160 and then get probably rejected just under the $5,500 zone, about $10 off of that actually, reaching all the way up to $5,490 before it saw some rejection. So why is this a failed ascending triangle? Well, this is still a failed ascending triangle because for it to not break out of the bear flag and actually to see rejection close to support, close to resistance, is still really a failed attempt. The fact that it was not able to break out of this overall ascending, really this rising channel, hence it being a bear flag, has me even more bearish, because for us to not break out of here even makes me more skeptical and to think that we're actually going to keep breaking down. And immediately you saw an insane amount of selling pressure coming from when we hit that 5,500 area, then going all the way back down nearly $300 to $5,200 and about $14. So you nearly had about a $300 move and the next 4-hour candle on the way down. So that's a lot of selling pressure coming off the 5,500 area. So yes, we could keep pushing this upwards over here and we could see another touch to resistance. However, this certainly isn't looking good for Bitcoin. If you look at the RSI over here, you can't help but think it's going to start coming down now. And for the most part, this is a bear flag. And so with these rising channels, what you tend to see happen is them actually break down, and then for falling channels you usually see them break out towards the upside. But since this is a rising channel and a bear flag, it does have the tendency is more likely to break down than to break towards the upside. Now again, it is possible it goes up here, it touches 5,500 again, but I am certainly having my my doubts at this time, because it has seen rejection once, twice, 3, now almost 4 times over here, 4 times from rejection. Now it also has touched support a lot, seeing 1, 2, 3, really our 4th touch on support. So both of these are getting a little bit exhausted here, and you know that this is actually going to come to its end, because once it's had at least 3 touch points, I think it's really fair to either break out or break down. And with us having 4 touch points on both support and resistance, I do eventually see this thing breaking down towards the downside. Now my immediate target over here, the one that I've set on Patreon, is just around the entire 4-hour 50 EMA. And the reason why this is significant is because the 50 EMA is, what I believe, very popularly used and noted, because when this is here, I wouldn't really take it lightly. I personally believe that it's going to be used as support, and if it's not used as support, I think it's going to see a very much more harsh breakdown towards the downside. So right now I am really counting on that the 50 EMA is going to hold around $5,030. Again, it's still climbing, every hour that we have a new candle getting printed, but for the most part on this 4-hour 50 EMA, I do expect this to hold if this breakdown is going to happen. Now the current price is $5,305, and right now the 50 EMA is about $300 below that, right above the 5,000 area. So if we do have a $300 breakdown here, again, that does create a lot of trade potential, but seemingly a lot of people are bullish, and I kind of understand why. Over here on the MACD, you have straight double bullish divergence on your 4-hour MACD, but your 4-hour RSI looks like it's kind of just getting exhausted in this range. It's gotten rejected from this, overbought range around 70, 71, 3 different times now. And you can maybe even argue that it was a 4th. And so with this getting rejected from this area so many times, I again cannot help but think that it's going to start breaking down here. It looks like it's starting to slant down and lose some positive momentum. I think you're seeing that, just the amount that the bears are present in this area from the amount of selling pressure. Now you can also argue the opposite and say, well, there was a lot of buying pressure, and the answer answer to that is actually yes, because while you did nearly have a $100 move up upon touching this support line, you had still about a $300 move down from touching near this resistance area. And in fact, the truth is it didn't even get to touch this resistance area. The fact that it got close to it and still got rejected so hard is still a big red flag to me. So when I'm looking at this in the overall and even on the daily chart, I still do think that this looks bearish. I mean, looking at it on the MACD over here, it's pointing down, just started rounding off. You're seeing lower highs on your RSI on your daily chart for the most point. And I do believe it to actually be a confirmed bear flag now. And so for those reasons, I'm actually bearish on Bitcoin. Now for this whole run through, I've been bullish on Bitcoin, saying that it's going to keep pushing higher. However, I do believe that this very well could have been the top of this run. Now, I could be wrong. I certainly, hope that it keeps pushing up, and that would be great because I own a lot of cryptocurrencies. However, I think it is important to be a little bit skeptical about this at this point, and for that reason, I have started becoming a little bit more bearish, and I am now okay with potentially shorting Bitcoin, again, keeping my stops tight so that, if this thing does take off again, I'm not in the wrong area of the trade. But for the most part, in looking at this technical analysis, I am a little bit skeptical up here, and I think we very well could have touched the top area around 5,500. It's possible that we push towards 6,000. I just don't think it's probable anymore. I certainly think that the bulls are significantly losing their application and their pressure in this area, and that if they do want to make a move, it's going to have to be sooner rather than later. And I think that the longer that the bulls wait, the more the bears are going to take over this range. And so we'll see if the 50 EMA holds. I certainly hope it does. Personally, I believe that the 50 EMA on the 4-hour will hold. If it doesn't, we can go ahead and move this to the 1 day. And on the 1 day, you can see the 200 EMA actually getting just below this area around 4,600. So if it does break the 50 EMA, you can look towards the 200 EMA. I'm not sure how significant that this is going to be. Again, we haven't seen a candle touch this in a very, very long time or even really come close to this. The fact that we were able to break this range so easily actually was very, very bullish, because the last time that we saw a touch on the 200 EMA was over in here, and again, it briefly got over it before crashing back down. And so I'm a little bit afraid that that's going to be the same exact move of what we're happening over here, and that you had this candle break above it. You're starting to see the sell pressure come in, and then I'm afraid that it's just going to go parabolic down, much like we saw over here in this area. So if that is the case, then certainly we do have a lot of downside, potentially coming our way. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. And I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Is this a giant bear flag? Are we going to see higher highs, or is this just a giant bull trap potentially? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to know your guys' thoughts. If you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next video.